Stephanie Weaver, and welcome to my studio where this week what we're going to be talking about is some artist revenue streams. And so while we kind of wait for people to hop on, let's see. Oh yeah, it's 12 o'clock on the dot. Gotta love that. So this is live, like hi, live. So feel free to ping some friends, some artist friends that you have with you that might be interested in getting to know a little bit more about some artist revenue streams and those that are available. So one of the things that I kind of do that's a little bit different, I think, than a lot of art business coaches is because I've kind of been there, done that, and tried a lot of different things. My goal is to help alleviate and help you, help sidestep some landmines that I've stepped on and gone down paths that I've gone through that were like either a complete waste of time or that were just like really, really good and they worked well. So go ahead and ping some friends and let me know that you're here. I'd love to see who all is actually here. So, because that's one of the things that makes this a little more entertaining is when we actually interact, because otherwise it's just me kind of talking to myself. And I don't know about you guys, but I do that a lot. And and with this whole COVID thing, I think we could probably all use a little bit more social interaction. So let me know who's out there. Say hi, write something in the comments. It does pop up on my screen. I think you're able to see that. So say hi, where you at? Hey, Julie Knowles. Yay, Julie. Hey, happy birthday, belated birthday. I'm glad you're here with us. And then let's see, and who else is with us? I see people looking. I know you're there. No, just kidding. So what we're going to cover today is really about artist revenue streams and all the different ones. And I'm not going to go into detail into each one of them in today's episode. But what I am going to do is go into detail about the first step to take. And there is homework at the end of this so that you can be better prepared, because this, if you notice, this is part 1. And part 2 is going to be out next week. And then part 3 is not going to be out for another 2 weeks because I've got a special guest coming with us on March 16th. And I'm going to kind of leave that hanging out there like that until we're ready to announce that special guest. So yay. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in. This is an interactive Q&A. While I did pre-record the video segment that we're going to walk through that talks about the art revenue streams, I pre-recorded it so that I could stay on point, because if you guys haven't noticed, I can ramble pretty easy and then easily get distracted and just go off into a squirrely moment. So I did pre-record it, but you can pop in any questions that you have and we'll have time for Q&A at the end. So what the other thing I was going to go ahead and show you guys is in the Positive Painters community, one of the things that we have going on, because this is brought to you by the Positive Painters online community, which is, my little community, and I'm so excited to have that and share that with you guys and everything that we've been doing. So I'm going to share the screen. So in the Positive Painters community, what we have going on, there is the latest blog post. So that is actually what we're going to cover today, because what you're going to find is in the video, there's a lot. I mean, it is jam-packed with things to consider, next steps, and then there's a homework assignment. So, and that'll prepare you for part 2. And that is in this latest blog post. You can check out our previous newsletter. We do them via video so that it's easy to kind of get acclimated into the Positive Painter environment and kind of understand where things are. And then also you have within here any upcoming other meetings, because we do, kind of tout and promote other artists who are providing, free resources really to help other artists grow in their art career. So in that case, we've got Julie McCullough on Fridays, and then we also have on Mondays sharpened artist, who's color pencil artist, John Middick. And then, of course, there's the print on demand. So this is a 4-day challenge to get your artwork onto printed products. And so that kind of walks you step by step. So those are the main page. If you are a member, you get so much more, and they're going to talk about that in the actual video, but it's less than a cup of coffee, and you can get access to a lot of things, including members only Q&A and something else that we're developing, which is like a brainstorming session where members get together in small groups of 4 to 5 people and really kind of brainstorm what's going on in the artist's life. So enough of me chit-chatting, I think. Well, 2 more things. I have my notes over here. 2 more things. Number 1, cheesy cherubs. So for the month of February, our monthly motivation was to create cheesy cherubs in the Rococo style. So if you've done that, pop those into the Positive Painter community, and then also post them onto Instagram. And I want you to use the hashtag Positive Painter Challenge. Post your cheesy cherubs, say that 10 times fast, onto Instagram and hashtag Positive Painter Challenge. That was for the month of February. In the month of March, we've got another challenge coming up, and that is called Three's Company. So Three's Company is all about creating 3 pieces of artwork using 1 subject. So, and that's on your way to basically creating a series. And I do have a course available to the Positive Painter Lite and Positive Painter Pro members so that you can actually paint exactly what I did if you want to. But again, I encourage you to create 3 images using 1 subject. So that's our challenge for the month of March. All right. And make sure you, again, use the hashtag Positive Painter Challenge. Okay. All right. Now, you guys ready? If there's any questions, please pop them into the chat. I am going to be watching that, and we are going to go ahead and get started on our video. All right, here we go. Let me move over here and hit the right button.
One thing that many of us artists learned.
Hold on. Let me minimize me.
Really, we kind of got a crash course in it as a result of the 2020 COVID lockdown, is to diversify our revenue streams. So I've decided to create a series that focuses on creating various common revenue streams that an artist can go after and where to start. The following is the most important advice that you can get. And I really wish that someone would have been able to give me this advice way back when. And even today, there are not any articles that I've found that state it exactly what to do, when to do it, and so on. And this is my experience, because I've been there, done that, tripped over things, made the mistakes. Again, I wish somebody would have told me all this stuff that you're about to learn right now. If you're ready, here we go. Welcome, I'm Stephanie Weaver, artist and founder of the Positive Painters online creative community, coming to you with art business tips so that you can gain focus and action on your art business. This week's episode is brought to you by the Positive Painters online artist community. The Positive Painters community is a place you can grow your art and your art business with fellow artists who have been in the trenches and know what it takes to grow an art business and create fabulous art. You can join the Positive Painters for less than the cost of a cup of coffee and gain access to a community, monthly art motivations, and so much more. Join today at stephanieweaverartist.com. The challenge is to pick a revenue stream that meets the life you want to live. And if you aren't sure about what life you want to live, then you kind of need to stop right here and go back to episodes 1 and episode 2 where I talk about SMART goals. And there's also a lunch and learn that you really need to go through that talks about planning mindfully with action so you can really develop your big dream and those peripheral goals around that big dream before you can really kind of decide these next couple steps. If you've already done that, great, let's keep going. But for those that are like, I'm not sure what she's talking about, if you don't believe me why this is important to know your big dreams, feel free to ignore my advice and you're going to waste your time and effort. Sorry, it's true. Why do I know this? Been there, done that, because nobody gave me this advice. So I'm just saying, You have to know where you want to be to determine how to get there. And there are times when where I want to be is going to shift, and that's when you need to reevaluate those goals and reevaluate the direction. That's life, that happens. But you really need to understand where you're going to go. And this is one of the key points for all my coaching clients that I express every time. You have to know what the big dream is so that we can devise a direction for you to travel. That's my disclaimer. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this, right? All right, so I categorize the revenue streams into two categories based on the level of complexity and the risk that each involves, and the order in which they need to be considered. So the two revenue categories are sole effort, and the second one is a collaborative or contractual effort. The sole effort revenue streams are the simple ones that you can do yourself. And they're also the ones that you can generally explore before you need to walk the path of getting a business license, and you're really kind of feeling things out to see if you want to make this a career choice rather than a hobby. Now, when you get into the collaborative or the contractual effort, it will involve a third party outside of your business, which means your cost may increase, you'll need to be tracking your expenses, you have a separate bank account, you have proper business license, etc. And that collaborative or contractual effort is generally where we just want to jump right into, like, I want to be in the gallery and I'm going to be in the gallery tomorrow type of thing. And I'm not saying not to dream big. I am saying let's lay the foundation before we build a house. You are better off starting with sole efforts first before proceeding to the collaborative or contractual efforts to get to know and understand all of the business basics before you go into agreement with a third party like a gallery. Now, how do I know this? Yep, been there, done that. My first gallery was before I knew anything about pricing my artwork, anything about the level of effort required, and anything about maintaining my own clients list. Okay, now that we understand there are two categories of income streams, which are the sole effort and the collaborative/contractual effort, here are the breakdowns for each. For the sole effort, which is our low-risk revenue streams that you can include as artist revenue streams, are things like, number 1, sell original artwork online. Number 2, sell prints and products online with hosted providers. 3, sell prints and products with print on demand. For the collaborative or contractual effort, where I would consider the risk and exposure increases, would include artist revenue streams like sell original artwork in a gallery, commissions, art fairs, festivals, or selling prints in a gallery and shops, sell products with print on demand in shops and galleries, teach online workshops, teach in-person classes and workshops, and licensing artwork. So, and let me also say that it's best just to pick one, perfect it before you add another. Like I said in episode number 3, which was the art business tips, 2 must-dos when building your art business, if you move forward with another business process without streamlining the first process, you'll get into the business of fixing everything instead of actually enjoying your art time. Now, over the next several topics, we are going to dive into each type of revenue stream, and you're going to get some homework for each section. So remember, just you are building your dream. It will take time. It's like the old adage, Rome wasn't built in a day. That applies to developing multiple revenue streams and the life that you want to lead. So that's a lot of different revenue streams, right? So where do you start? That's the easy answer. So we're going to start every time with a sole effort revenue stream by creating an online store to sell your artwork. Why should you start an online store? When you create your own website, you own it. When you pay for it, you own it. When you use free platforms like Facebook Shop, you are building your house on rented land. Now, this past year, we've all seen the power that Facebook wields with shutting down people and business pages, all because someone, nobody knows who, determines the content is not appropriate. Now, you may be thinking, but I paint flowers, so I should be okay. Regardless, I still recommend that you get your own website and or paid for service. What do I mean by paid for service? Use services like Pattern by Etsy website builder for an upgrade for like $15 a month, giving you the peace of mind for as little as $15 a month that your website is always going to be available. And if you want the ability to blog, that one easily takes care of it. Provides custom URL, or you can use Wix, or you can use the shopping cart, etc. There are lots of options out there. Now, I can tell you that I understand the hesitancy to invest in your website for nerves, or that you just don't want to pay to pursue this passion, and you're not 100% if it's a passion you want to pursue. So let me flip it another way. When you invest in a website, you are investing in that future dream, in the goal that you believe in. That knowledge makes that $15 a month seem minuscule, doesn't it? But before you go and just pick one, I want you to really think about your requirements, meaning what you want your future self to be doing with your website, and choose the option that best suits your growth. Now, I can tell you it's a big old pain to move from one platform to another because you're ready to progress to selling classes, and you now have to migrate 4 years of work, find the original images, copy and paste blog posts, etc. to a new platform. And I know this because it took me 6 months to do it. So you may or may not notice, but my website doesn't show any work that is older than 2 years. And that's because I migrated off a specialized artist website builder to a fully customized, solely hosted website. And I'm going to go into those terms and what they mean in the next part of this series. Now, I'll also say this, the hardest part of building a website is knowing what you want. Think of it like you have an idea of a type of painting that you want to create. You've dreamt it, you can envision it, and now you're going out and sourcing the images that will be compiled into your vision. That is basically what I'm asking you to do, is define the requirements that's in your vision of what you want that website to look like. And then you're going to use those requirements to pick the right solution. Okay, so that's your homework for this week. Your assignment is to determine what exactly you want your website to be able to do to showcase your art now and then in the future. As you're defining your requirements, consider the following perspectives. You've got your perspective and your client's perspective. So ask yourself these questions. What do you want your clients to be able to do on your website? You want them to purchase originals, prints, take commissions, showcase your artwork, be able to take classes, register for workshops, blogging, wholesale section, download artwork, all the things. Think about what you want your client to be able to do, or your core audience to be able to do on your website. Then consider your time and which is more important to you. So for example, which is more important to you? Consistent website look or more time to create? Which is more important to you? Maximizing profit or more time to create? Which is more important to you? Getting to know your clients or more time to create? So in the next part of the series, you're going to be armed with the must-haves for your website, not only for your client, but also for your time. And we're going to discuss 3 types of website providers to consider based on your requirements. In an upcoming Lunch and Learn, we are diving into the website must-haves and considerations. You can register for free online Lunch and Learn scheduled for March 2021 in the Positive Painters online community. In this interactive session, website designer and creator Rachel Harshenko from Social Media 360 will be talking with us about what you need to consider for your website. The link is in the show notes. Make sure that you register. Now, if you are viewing or reading this part of the series after March of 2021, you can become a Positive Painter Pro member and gain access to this and so much more. Well, that's it for this week. I think that's enough homework to take us into the next episode. And again, the next part of this, we are going to be discussing the 3 types of website providers to consider based on your requirements. So don't go just picking one just yet. There's more to get to know. Until next time, you stay safe, happy, and healthy, and happy.
Okay, so that was probably a lot. So are there any questions so far? The homework right now is to go to my website, and I provided a link in the notes here, and you can download, I can go ahead and show you this too. Let me share my screen. So what you would do is you're going to go to the blog, and you have a blog right here. And depending on your level of access to the website, you're going to see a different menu options right there. But you're going to click on this one. It's called Art Business Tip, Art Business Revenue Streams, Part 1. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and then, so it's got a replay right here. It doesn't include all the little post-it note thingy type things that were going on in here. But that's the replay along with the written version of basically everything that I said. And then you can scroll all the way down, and your homework is right here. So you enter in your email address and your name, and you're going to be sent the homework. And the homework, it's a nice little PDF. I can see if I can bring this up 1 second, and I will show you. Let's see, this is part 1. Okay. And it looks something like this. Nope, that's workbook 2. My bad. So you can see I've already done, we're geared up. So we've got workbook 1 and workbook, in this episode, part 2 is going to cover the second part of this whole thing, because you need to know what you want to build in the system. One of the things that I see a lot of artists do is that they, and people in general actually, it's not just related to just artists, but we want to go out and get the pretty, we want to build our website and make it look fabulous. And before we get into the aesthetics part of it, which is actually the easiest part of the whole deal, because you're going to get to go pick a template, the hardest part is knowing what you want. So like if you look at my website, this is, the featured artist, events, shop art, blog, all these things are ideas that have culminated over the years. It didn't start out this way. And so you need to figure out what exactly you want to do in your art career. And, it could be as simple as, I just want to sell my originals. And if that's your requirement, write that requirement down in your requirements notebook, and that's in the workbook. Again, you can download that right here. Let's see, do we have any questions? Let me go over here and look. Don't be shy, because if you have the question, somebody else has the question. Okay. Yeah, let me pull up and see if I can go ahead and pull up the workbook 1. I just gotta get the right one. No, workbook 2. Apparently I downloaded workbook 2 a lot. But yeah, go ahead and download workbook 1, and you're going to walk through what requirements that you have in your system. So that's really it for today. I'm sure after you guys go through the workbook, you may have some new questions. And if you do, please come back to next week, same time, same bat channel and all that, and come with your questions, and we'll be glad to address them. So if that's it, and nobody has anything, until next time, stay safe, happy, and healthy, and happy painting. Bye, guys.